Hey, what's up, guys? Hope y'all are doing well. And I got a video response for Blue Thunder 40. This is going to be a video that I don't know if I've shared with y'all or some similar experiences. But I know I've shared similar, or, I've shared a lot of experiences with y'all. But this is one that I'm not sure if I shared with y'all. And this experience happened to me before I had a YouTube account. Well, I had a YouTube account, I just didn't have videos up. Um, but referring back to Blue Thunder's 40's video, um, a lady got assaulted. She got raped by the same offender, and she called the cops, and motherfuckers couldn't even get out there. She said she didn't have anybody working. To call tomorrow. That's some fucking bullshit. And you know what? Something like that happened to me, and I'm gonna share my experience with you and let you put your input. And if you have something to share, go ahead and share it. But this happened to me, and it's almost exactly the same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna start by telling you that it was New Year's Eve 2012. So no, not 20. Yeah, okay, it was the beginning of 2012. Actually, New Year's Day into the January 1st. So January 1st began, because New Year's, we popped fireworks, everything was good. I was with my family, and this is like the central part of San Antonio. So I was there at my father-in-law's house, and we had a good time. It was pretty good. Had New Year's Day there. Well, we're driving home, and when I'm going on a road, I see a car backing up with this reverse lights on. And keep in mind, this is a one-way street, so he's backing up. So I'm thinking, why is he backing up like that? And he was kind of swerving, right? Because he probably wasn't that good of a backup driver. But then I see a girl, and she's running. And she's just running, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Is he going to try to grab her or what? So I stop, and I observe for a little bit, because I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to just jump in there. Well, I see her running, and finally the guy stops, and he gets out, and he's pulling her from her hand. And that's when I take off on my truck, and I'm going up towards him. And that girl finally lets go, and then she goes into this house where there's a bunch of people. And I'm like, oh, these guys are, they're fighting, and she already made it home. So she went into that house. Well, something didn't sit right with me. And I said, let me just go check, just to make sure. And I hit the first turnaround I got. I went back around, came back around the street, because keep in mind it was a one-way street. And I see her kind of just I'd roll down my window, and I see her crying, and she's talking to those guys. And then I kind of see that she doesn't fit in that house. There's something about the vibe that was going on at that place that she doesn't match. So I asked her, I was like, hey, you okay? And then she looks at me, she's like, no, I'm not okay. Then my boyfriend, he was beating me up. He threw me out of the car on the freeway. And she said we were rolling, and he threw me out, and he was punching me, and finally he let me go, and then he told me to get back in the car. I'm like, was that the guy with the car? And she's like, yeah, that's him. And I was like, oh, come on, let's get in my truck, let's go, I'll take you home. Really, you'll take me home? Like, yeah, I'll take you home. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So the guy, once he had took off, when I turned back around, he was gone. Because obviously there was guys at that party, and that motherfucker's a coward. He wasn't going to get off and try to grab her there, that fucking pussy. Anyways, so he takes off, and then I'm like, okay, well, let's go. So I take her home, and this is probably around 12:30, because once we hit New Year's, we took off. So this is around 12:30. I'm driving home to her house, and I call the cops, and I tell them, you know what, this girl's been assaulted, really bad. I mean, her boobs were popping out, because he ripped her shirt. She was holding on to her shirt as best she could. I was with my wife, and I had my daughters, and that's kind of the reason that she kind of went with me, because I said, look, I'm with my wife. You can trust me. I'll take you home. And when we got there, we called the cops again. Hey, we need you on here. We need to do a report. This guy's done this multiple times. Oh, we already sent somebody out there, but nobody was out there, so we left. Are you fucking kidding me? We sent somebody out there, nobody was there. What the fuck? We were there the whole time. No, that we sent somebody. I'm like, okay, well then send somebody again. Okay, we got dispatchers on the way. So I'm not even fucking playing. We're waiting there for like 4 hours. I wasn't gonna leave this girl alone in her apartment. If the guy showed up, I was gonna handle business because I knew he was gonna be up to no good. And I was just there to protect her the best that I could. Me being the person that I am, I was just gonna try to protect her. Well, anyways, I call again, and this is already 4 in the morning. I go, are you gonna send another officer out there? Well, you know what, sir? We already went out there, nobody was there, so we're not gonna send anybody out there anymore. Are you fucking kidding me? That is the lowest of the low for any fucking department. Well, about 2 weeks later, I come across a cop and I ask him, and you know, usually I'll ask questions to officers regarding, you know, laws and stuff like that. Well, I ask him, hey sir, so what happened on New Year's Day? I was driving home. I saw so many drunk drivers. I swear I did not see one officer on the road. He said, you know what? Well, because there wasn't any. There was probably 6 or 7 per area, and keep in mind, 7 or 8 mile square area is for those officers. He said if there was gunshots, we all went over there, and we were going from house to house wherever they were reporting gunshots. I was all like, okay, so what about the rest? He's like, nope, well, they just had to fend for themselves. He said, you did good by having your gun, because I told him the story. He said, you did good, you were trying to protect her, but in all honesty, they were all on their own. So, that's some fucking bullshit. So on New Year's Day, people can commit crimes, they can commit rape, they can commit assault. Unless you're armed and ready to defend yourself, there's no other way around it. So that's just my little story, and I'm gonna send this to Blue Thunder 40 because this really happened to me. So, alright guys, y'all have a good one.